Dance games. While you might be thinking of Just Dance or those other games you play with your friends or family on the Xbox Connect at a gathering, I'm thinking of the Dance Mat, Dance Pad, Arcade, Step on the Arrows to the song dance games. The most notable dance game in question would be Dance Dance Revolution, as it was all over the place in the 2000s, with console releases and arcade machines taking over pop culture during that era. Although it was much more popular back then, probably when most people who were watching this were still in diapers, dance games like DDR are still played a lot today. Some appear more frequently in arcades than you might think. However, not all dance games are created equal, and in this video, we'll be exploring the many different dance games that exist, their characteristics, and their differences. By the end, we'll be able to see that the dance game is way more than the Kinect, or even just the dance pad. But first, we gotta go to the arcade. Let's begin with the dance pad games. Conceptually, don't they all play the same? You're on a pad, you see arrows on the screen, and when the colorful one lines up with the gray one, you stomp on the corresponding arrow on the pad. That's how they all work. So the dance games are the same, right? Nope. Surprisingly, they're all different. The most striking one is the difference between Dance Dance Revolution and Pump It Up. Dance Dance Revolution, developed by Japanese company Konami, is probably the one we all recognize, with the directional arrows. DDR places emphasis on pattern recognition and consistency in speed. On the other hand, Pump It Up, developed by Korean company Endemiro, takes it up a notch by adding a center panel to stomp on, and changing the other arrows to be diagonal, arranged in a checkerboard-like pattern. Pump, as it's known in the community, places emphasis on stamina and the ability to suddenly speed up to hit lots of notes. There's one game that's somewhat harder to tell the difference of though, and that's In the Groove. But first, before we get into that, let's talk about another easier difference, which is the difference between DDR and Stepmania X. Stepmania X, developed by America-based company Step Revolution, and DDR, they share the same pad layout, but SMX has an extra center panel slapped in the middle of it. It's like Pump and DDR had a very modern feeling child due to the machine having a touchscreen, a companion app, and cup holders. Now, In the Groove, developed by US-based Roxor, was also a 4-panel step-on arrow game, arranged in the same layout as DDR. Needless to say, Konami caught on to this quickly, filing a lawsuit against Roxor in 2006, and that lawsuit ended up in Roxor giving up the intellectual rights to ITG. And Konami ended up killing the game later on, which was shocking, I don't know. The developers of ITG went on to other endeavors. In fact, Kyle Ward, the lead developer of Stepmania X, also worked on ITG. In fact, he made ITG. After ITG's arcade and home releases got killed off, the community still kept the ITG game alive, with PC programs like Not ITG and Simply Love keeping the ITG feel alive, which is what I'll refer to during this video, since the old ITG releases are really outdated and no one uses them anymore. Now that we've established these grounds, what really is the difference between ITG and DDR? They both have the same formatting, they both have the same arrows, and even the machines look the same. So what really is the difference? And the difference is charting. ITG has vastly different charting styles than DDR, and with the addition of bomb notes, it basically acts as an extension of DDR's charting. ITG has lots of stamina charts, very long charts with notes speeding by at a fast pace, requiring the player to shuffle their feet around instead of stomp, as well as technical or tech charts, which have a lot of special patterns that require a lot of quick thinking as well as getting used to. These patterns and chart types are mostly unseen in regular DDR, signifying a difference between the two games. Now, panel dance games have been an arcade staple since the 2000s. However, in recent years, new types of dance games have popped up in arcades worldwide. Dance for Stardom, published by Konami in 2018, was a new twist on traditional dance pad games. Instead of having multiple different areas to step on, the machine consists of just one giant pad, allowing the player to move freely across it, emphasizing freestyle dance techniques while still requiring the player to stomp, jump, duck, or slide to the notes in order to score well. This could be compared to the freestyle dance routines that can be done on DDR, but they just have more space to freestyle. Some of the charts even attempt to make the player do dance moves like the T-step or the Running Man.
1. Right. Raise your left foot left. Raise your right foot right.
In fact, here's a person doing an insane dance routine completely based off a chart in the game. It's pretty cool. Remember when we talked about Just Dance or other Kinect games? Surprise, here's one of them. No, really, this game literally uses a Kinect. Dance Around, also Konami published. They really like to innovate their games. Dance Around is a game where you match the dance moves of the virtual characters on the very large person-sized screen. I don't even know why this machine is so large. It takes up so much space and nobody even plays this game. This game was commissioned by the arcade franchise Round 1, which has locations both in Japan and the US, where most rhythm gamers go and play their arcade games if you live in the US. This game doesn't really focus on freestyling as much as like matching the routines that are being displayed on screen. And if you also think that this game resembles another game that I won't name, but you probably know what I'm talking about, yeah, it does. But hey, at least this game has Miku. All of the games that we've talked about so far share one thing in common: their main focus is dancing. Whether it be freestyle shuffling, following a routine, or just stomping on some arrows, they all require some form of movement that can be classified as dancing. However, there are rhythm games that don't require you to dance, but are described as dance games nonetheless. How do they do this? Let's take a look at two rhythm games that can be described as unconventional dance games. First, we're starting off with Mai. Mai is a a rhythm game published by Japanese company Sega, which hit the scene in 2012. In this game, notes appear starting from the center of the circular screen, and you hit buttons on the outside of the screen to the beat. Sometimes star notes appear, and when you hit them, you have to trace a pattern on the screen itself. Now, you may be asking, Mac, what does this game have to do with dancing? All you do is slap notes and make magic sigils on a screen. Well, it's all in the name. Literally, the name is wordplay on the Japanese term mai, which literally means dance. The game's name is basically Dance Dance. Guess the revolution hasn't started yet for Sega. Other than that, the specific way the game is charted creates patterns that can enable the player to dance, due to the rapid arm movements that occur. Although the movements don't occur in the legs as much as they occur in the arms, it could still be classified as dancing. Another game that focuses on arm movement more is Tetote X Connect. Tetote, as it's more commonly abbreviated, or just Tetote, is a McDonald's order touchscreen arcade rhythm game where you tap and slide to try and match the moves of the avatar that's in front of you. This is a dance game because many Tetote players try to match the whole body movements of the avatar in front of them, and not just the notes on the screen. Think Dance Around, but matching the dance routine is optional. Now, it's the end of the video, and you should be able to understand the differences between some dance games, and hopefully you learn new things about other dance games. Before we end this video, I want to give a big thanks to Tsubasa, who helped me write this as well as provide some footage. I'll link her channel down below, as well as anyone else that helped me contribute to this video. Thank you for watching.